Captain Edward Drexler peered out of the observation deck of the ISA Farseer, a solitary spacecraft drifting through the vast expanse of space. The stars, so distant and indifferent, blinked like cold, unfeeling eyes against the infinite backdrop of darkness. He was a seasoned astronaut, capable of any task, grounded enough for any voyage, his very soul hardened by the rigors of space travel. But now, in this moment, as he stared into the infinite void before him, a sense of unease settled in his neck and promptly ran a chill down his spine. The Farseer had been on a mission to explore the fringes of the solar system, far beyond where any human had ventured, harnessing the power of technological advances toward faster-than-light travel. It was a journey meant to last 4 years, with a small crew of 5. But 6 months into their mission, things began to go wrong. First, it was the power fluctuations. Then the communication system started failing, cutting them off from Earth. The crew had managed to fix most of these minor issues, but a lingering sense of dread had settled over them. "Edward!" A voice crackled through the intercom, snapping him back to reality. It was Dr. Travis Hale, the ship's lead scientist. "Can you join me, please? I'm at the comms panel. There's something you need to see." Edward sighed and made his way through the narrow corridors of the ship. The hum of the engines and the constant drone of the air conditioning was a constant reminder of their isolation. As he reached the segregated rear of the cockpit, he found Travis staring intently at the monitor. His face, although wholly lit by the screen's emissions, was pale, his eyes widened with awe.
"What is it, Travis?"
"We've picked up a signal. At first I thought it was just interference, but it's consistent, and it's getting stronger." Edward leaned in, studying the waveforms on the monitor. They seemed irregular at best.
"Could it be from Earth?"
No. It's not like any signal we've encountered.
Huh.
It's alien." A further chill ran down Edward's spine, compounding the feeling of dread that had begun to fill his stomach. They had always known the risk of their mission, the possibility of failure, the fear of the unknown. But this, encountering something alien.
"Can we trace it?"
"Yeah, I've been trying, but it's erratic, almost like it's moving. And the strangest part is the pattern. It's like it's a beacon or sort of a distress call. A hail, maybe. It's,
Calling us.
Yeah, I think so."
All right.
Edward felt the knot tighten in his stomach.
All right, let's gather the crew and figure out our next steps.
The crew assembled within the confined quarters of the briefing room, a room that mostly served as their dining room. Along with Edward and Travis sat Lieutenant Sam Reyes, the ship's engineer, and pilot Jack Thompson. Each one of them wore expressions of concern as Travis explained the situation. "So, long story short is, we very possibly picked up a transmission from extraterrestrial origin."
Oh, are you fucking serious right now? I mean, this is big, right?
"Oh yeah, it's pretty huge, yeah. I'm kinda scared and excited at the same time, you know?"
As you should be. There's so many questions. What do we even do about this?
Well, whatever we do from here on, we need to proceed with caution. Every plan needs to be checked and every action needs to be double-checked. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
I'll run a full diagnostic on our systems. If there's a chance the signal is affecting us, our ship I mean, then we need to be prepared too, right?
Yes, of course. Good thinking, Sam. So, next steps. Travis, you can trace the signal, right? Its origin.
I can certainly get us an intercept course, yeah.
Okay, let's try not to overthink this, guys. But now we all know what we're dealing with here. Obviously, this has turned into our main priority.
You've informed ISA Control.
Not yet, Jake. I wanted you guys to know first. But their directive will align with mine. They'll want us to investigate at the very least. Okay? Let's get to it, people.
The hours that followed turned into days as the crew traced the signal. The closer they came, the stronger the signal's strength, and with it, The series of inexplicable occurrences that had started some distance back were growing stronger. Equipment continued to malfunction, each time with more severity. But now, strange noises began to echo through the ship. The crew began experiencing vivid, unsettling dreams in their sleep at first. They had discussed the possible causes: radiation, distance from Earth, the transmissions from this unknown signal. But as these hallucinations became more prominent, more prevalent, it started affecting their working hours. Daily tasks became hard to follow, chores harder to manage. Living, breathing, thinking was becoming unbearable. Edward jolted awake as the blood-curdling scream reverberated around his quarters. He rushed out of the pod. The corridors of the Farseer were claustrophobic to say the least, packed on either side and almost always in partial darkness. The lights were dimmed to help simulate night back on Earth. Edward cleared his throat and walked forward. He didn't take long before he found the source of the screaming. Before him now, he saw Jake clutching his knees, trembling on the floor, his eyes wide with terror. Jake looked up, his eyes darkened by a lack of sleep. His face seemed pale, ill.
It's inside my head,
he whispered, clutching his temples.
I can hear it calling me.
Edward knelt down and placed a hand on the pilot's shoulder.
I can feel it too. It's in my head, but I don't think it's malicious. I think it's part of their cry for help.
Doesn't feel that way to me.
I know. Just try to hang in there, okay? Come on, let's get you to the medbay. You need sleep. Sam!
Yes, Captain.
Meet me at the medbay, please.
On my way.
Everything's fine. Jake needs a little help is all.
Edward guided the pilot back to the medical bay, where Sam carefully administered a sedative. As she did so, she spoke to her captain, her head never lifting to make eye contact, her voice trembling.
We need to stop. This is driving us mad.
I spoke to ISA Control. It's an official directive now, Sam.
Then we shouldn't have told them.
I know, but we did. Before all of this started.
Can't we just...
Sam...
We need to stop.
We're almost there now, okay? Just hold on. We can all hold on. We'll check this thing out and bugger off before we know it, okay?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. It's just...
I know. Trust me. We all want this to stop.
But stopping wasn't an option. The signal had become a beacon, drawing them closer to its source. And as they approached the origin point, seemingly atop the largest asteroid in the surrounding area, the ship's sensors picked up a large structure, hidden within the shadows of the Oort cloud. Oh, Jesus. It's a structure, Travis said, his voice a mixture of awe and fear. It looks abandoned, maybe. Dark, at any rate.
We need to investigate,
Edward said, though every instinct screamed against it.
Put her down close.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Not really, but I feel like we have to, don't you?
Jake retracted the landing gear as he slowly, carefully brought the Farseer down.
The void's only about 100 kilometers. Composition looks mainly ice, sulfur, carbon. No volcanism, obviously. Surface temp at 33K.
Yeah, and let's not forget there's a friggin' alien structure out there too.
We'll monitor you from up here. Be careful out there, okay?
It's nice that you care, Sam.
Just hurry back, dipshit.
Edward and Travis donned their spacesuits and entered the airlock, leaving Sam and Jake to monitor from the Farseer. The screens flickered, seemingly in black and white, due to the lack of color before them. Eventually, the astronauts floated into vision, their jumps far and few between. As they approached the structure, its sheer size became apparent, dwarfing their spacecraft in height. but that height mainly composed of the relay system, the building below equal to the size of a large warehouse. Panel's broken.
Yeah. Whatever left here, it left fast.
Travis grabbed what remained of the door, its panel shattered and bent outward. As he touched it, an electrical spark ignited, and the door shifted slightly before jamming once more. It wasn't much, but it was enough for them to squeeze through. The passageway they found themselves in was long, dark, and silent. A mechanical clicking sounded as if something should be happening, but no longer worked. Edward guessed it was an airlock decompression chamber.
Stay together,
he ordered, his flashlight cutting through the darkness as they moved cautiously. The sound of their breathing, so loud in the oppressive silence, seemed to echo through their helmets and out of the monitor's back on the Farseer. Suddenly the lights flickered on as they entered a large open interior. Strange symbols adorned the walls. Some written neatly, some appeared rushed. What seemed like control panels and apparent screens, littered with baffling technology, filled the room, and the air seemed to hum with an unseen energy.
What the hell?
Look at this, Travis said, pointing to a console. It's some kind of control panel.
This must be the main command room.
As Edward reached out to touch the strange panels, the floor shuddered, and a low resonant sound filled the air. Edward's heart pounded as a voice echoed through the station, speaking in an unknown tongue.
What is that?
Sam whispered, her face pale.
I don't know,
Edward replied, fear clawing at his spine once more.
but we need to get out of here.
Let me just see if I can...
We need to leave now, Travis.
But the panel, the signal, we might be able to...
Travis, now! That's an order.
They turned to leave, but the corridor seemed to stretch endlessly before them, twisting and turning in impossible ways.
What the fuck?
What's happening?
Sam? Sam, can you hear me?
Panic began to set in as they realized they were trapped. Panic gives way to anxiety and fear disrupts the brain's focus. Had it not done so, they would have realized that nothing before them was moving. Back on the Farseer, Sam and Jake watched in confusion. The communications had gone dark as soon as they entered the structure, but the body cam still worked. They could only watch as they witnessed their friends act upon an unknown terror.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Something's got them spooked. But I can't see anything, can you?
There's nothing there.
The room's normal. Empty. Nothing's changed, has it?
Get them back.
I'm trying.
Desperation clawed at them as they tried to re-establish contact. Inside the structure, the crew's minds were assaulted by visions and whispers, memories of loved ones twisted into nightmarish forms. Travis fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face.
Oh, no, stop, please. I can't take it anymore. Stop, please.
Sam tried to console him, but her words went nowhere. Edward forced himself to stay focused, dragging them both towards the passageway. At this point, he was acting on memory rather than vision. But as they reached it, the passage was gone, replaced by a void that seemed to swallow all hope. The visions continued to assault Travis's mind, a relentless barrage of mental pain.
I can't do this.
Travis, what are you doing?
I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Edward turned to see Travis unclipping his helmet.
Travis, what are you doing?
Sam and Jake watched eagerly on the screens as Edward reached for him.
Travis, no!
But it was too late. Travis had removed his helmet and flung it across the room. His face began to freeze over as his cheeks expanded. A speck of blood coughed from his freezing lungs covered Edward's body cam. As Travis fell forward onto the ground, Sam and Jake watched as one camera went dark and the other filled with thick red liquid, their vision now completely gone. The alien voice grew louder, more insistent, as if it fed on their despair. Edward felt his mind slipping, his thoughts becoming fragmented. He clung to one last hope, closing his eyes and searching for the passageway with his hands. He found the structure's wall and followed it. On the Farseer, Sam and Jake bickered in despair.
We have to go after them.
They're not getting out of there.
We can't just give up.
We can't risk losing the ship, too. They're already lost. If we go in there, we risk the same fate.
Edward battled through the mental assault, his faculties faltering as every second passed. But he could feel the wall. He could feel the temperature changing. He could hear the ship now, hear its engines, hear its thrust.
Wait. No. Wait for me. Wait for me.
Finally, the wall gave way to twisted metal, the broken panel. He climbed through it into open air and finally opened his eyes. Below him, the dusty ground of the asteroid. Before him, the open expanse of space. And above him, the trail of the Farseer's engines.
Wait! No! No!
As the days turned into weeks, the Farseer drifted aimlessly. No communication was resolved with Earth. No one would ever know what happened here, what they found, or even the fate of the Farseer herself. For Sam and Jake had succumbed to the same madness that had claimed their friends. The ship, once a beacon of human exploration, carrying the hope of a generation to come, had become a ghost, its crew lost to the mystery of the void, and in the endless expanse of space, the Farseer continued its lonely journey, a silent echo of dreams turned to dust. In the end, Edward's last coherent thought was of Earth, a distant memory of blue skies and warm sunlight, before the darkness claimed him, and the structure fell silent once more, a personification of the terror, the danger of reaching beyond the stars.